Hey, all my U.S. history scholars here. So I wanted to run through quickly um, what the overview looks like and what we should be doing with it and the whole purpose for it. So let's start with purpose, right? Because we need purpose. So if we go to classroom and we scroll way down, um, again, I make my own worksheets and I make everything. So after I look back at stuff and I put myself in your position, I would scroll through and be like, oh my goodness gracious. Um, Information overload, worksheet overload, right? Regardless that it's there, it's a lot of links to go through. And I totally get that. So, one of the things in piloting, trying to be a 100% digital class, is that we constantly are morphing and making changes. So what I thought of is, hey, let's create something then that is universal, that is one-stop shop, and we go to this document and go forth from there. So instead of having tons of things in classroom, it would just be one thing for that unit, and then we go off that. So that's the whole point of this, is it's just a one-stop shop for you to go to. So for example, I'm going to use the Civil War era overview, which is our next unit coming up, but you'll still be able to use this tutorial for anything that you need regarding overviews. So the directions up here will tell you exactly what steps to follow, but since I'm doing it, I'll just go ahead for you. We go down to EQs, so those are our essential questions, and again, those are the questions that are like we're trying to wrestle with and understand as we go throughout American history. So our year-long essential question is always for us to ask ourselves is when was America great? Is a year-long EQ. But our typical unit one is going to be in this funky little pink slash purplish. This one is asking us, is the Civil War era the height of racism in America? Question mark. Is it something different? That's what we're really wrestling with. And again, essential questions are these very overarching big ideas that there's no real one answer. There's tons of possibilities for you to answer. So that's the cool thing about it. And if you go down to title here, so you'll notice there are four different titles for this particular unit, the Civil War. So it's U5-1, so that's the pre-Civil War. The second one is that, third one, and fourth. And you'll notice each column represents a particular lesson. So this doesn't necessarily mean a day, this just means a lesson, but most likely it's usually a day. So you can see forth, we go like that through it. So then the next line would be readings. And according to our directions up here, if it's red, it's periods 4 and 5. If it is blue, it is period 0, and so forth. So you will have all your readings there that you need. For periods 4 and 5, this one is for the textbook that we are piloting, but it will also be online as well. So I'm going to give you the online link for that page as soon as we get it this week. But that would be it. So normally it's a link, so you would click on it and it would take you to where you're supposed to go to quickly. So that's there for you. Very easy. If for some reason there's nothing in it, it would be a black box like this one. That just means you have nothing for that particular lesson. And what I still expect you to do is your reading stuff. We know in the past our reading notes were this or was this slide type of thing where you would go here and for each chapter, each thing we write, you would write a bunch of notes there. But you recall we moved to a focused reading notes platform, and I'm going to use Esmeralda's because I think she's done a fantastic job at it, so good job on that one. You will fill this out each time for each unit. So every time you read, you're dumping in stuff in this one here, and you're answering the questions, connections, the summary, and so forth for all of them. And that's what we're going to start getting to. But we'll go over that later, so just keep working on that. DWs are digital worksheets. So again, according to our overview over here, if it is green, that means it's both periods 4, 5, and 0 are doing the same type of worksheet. Same one. If it's still a red and a blue, if your periods 4 and 5, you would go to the red. If your period 0, you go to the blue and vice versa on that one. So I'm going to switch this up and see how it goes here. Anytime you see a link there, you can click on it and it'll take you to the link. Or if it's a worksheet like this, you can click on it and it'll take you to what it is. And from this point, it'll probably say view only on your screen. Then you would go to file, make a copy again, put your name with it. And then I again recommend that you do this to start with. Put it in the folder that you need to. So that way it's there ready to go for you at all times. So that's those ones now. So then we go down to WTD, and that is what the dizzle. That's our fancy way of saying the summary of that particular thing. So I prefer you to not do bullet points, but if you have to do bullet points, go ahead. The whole point is we're trying to get a factual understanding a bit more of what is going on or some of the big things that are happening here. If you notice, I already have key terms down below, so you don't necessarily have to put those here. You just need to, what the dizzle is, just give us a little bit of your analysis of that particular lesson with that title. Don't have to fill it all up, but again, this should be an easy way for you to study at the end of a unit. You should just look at this one overview document, and you would have everything you need to, which is our big goal in doing this. Key terms section, so I'm going to put in a bunch of key terms here, and these are the things that you should be focusing on for that particular lesson, is what we're looking at. We talked about in class themes, so we're going to be putting down 1 to 3 themes per what you're seeing in that one, and then significance question mark. Significance question mark would be, why is it significant? Why do you think it's significant in the study of American history? Or you could say something like, without blank, then this would never have happened, and so forth. So it's significance like that. Unit personal statement is you write a short summary that includes at least 10 key terms. The key terms, again, are from here, so it's asking you, each time you use a key term, you go over to it and you highlight it in yellow, you change it to the back, and you show it like that. So you need 10 of those in here, and it's your unit personal statement. So you're taking everything you know, and you're making us a nice little statement about it. If you'll see below, sometimes you'll see some different things like this. So for example, this one, when we do have an assessment, you could click on the link, it'd be there. If we have a film analysis, it'll be there, and we start having a lot of film analyses because they get very good. So this one would be that. You make a copy and then follow the instructions that I give you. Project, so forth. For this one, we're going to have a project and we write things down here. But I just wanted you to see that this is the overview platform of what we're using. I think it's really going to make it easier for us to, one, not only focus, but just have all the knowledge that you need up front. So yes, this does mean I'm working a whole unit well ahead of where we need to be, which is the goal of me in the class, is to have you guys everything in advance, so that way we're doing it together, and not making it up as we go and so forth. So this is what we're going to be using from now on. So each unit will have one of these, and you would still always make a copy of it to begin with, put it in your correct folder, and then the same thing with the documents that come forth. But this is the one-stop shop platform for us to use. I know you guys will come to really enjoy it, because it's going to be a lot easier for us to use and work with and just make our life easier. And that's the whole point here, is we want to have fun in education, but we don't want to be bored with school. So I'm going to try my best there. Thank you again, especially 5th period, for your recommendations. I really appreciate it. You guys have been very, very, very helpful. And again, if sometimes things don't make sense, ask, so that way I can change things. And that's kind of the beauty of this classroom being digital, is that I can change to tailor what you need, not just what I think is best. So thank you for listening, guys. Any questions, send me a reminder DM, but that is it, and I'm excited, so thank you.